this seems like something that would really work for me. And she seems like, being a Christian. And I don't know, you just came through like you were actually talking to me, and I hadn't even met you yet. So that was a big turning point for me.
Hey, Brooke, thanks so much for being here today and sharing about just the incredible results you've had to go from, being stuck in fight or flight and worrying to just feeling calm from within and moving through situations, that used to be kind of triggering for you. So I'm excited to ask you a little bit about your journey. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Sounds good.
Can you tell me a little bit about just kind of what were some of the challenges that you were facing on a daily basis when we met?
Sure. I just felt a lot of nervousness and anxiety, like that shaky feeling on the inside type of thing. And kind of just waiting for something bad to happen kind of a thing. And that had been going on for years and years and years since I was a kid, really off and on. So yeah, it had been a long time to feel that way.
That's a long time. Yeah, since you were a kid.
hmm
Wow.
hmm
Um, do you remember like the time, like what happened that made you, since you had been dealing with it and pushing through for so long, do you remember what happened that or the moment that you decided that you needed to do something different or that you didn't want to go on like that?
yeah, I had been, kind of searching for something for a while. And I actually saw your I don't know if you call it an advertisement, but the thing on Facebook.
Mhm.
And I don't know, something just clicked with me like this seems like something that would really work for me. And she seems like being a Christian. And I don't know, you just came through like you were actually talking to me, and I hadn't even met you yet. So that was a big turning point for me. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you are here, and I'm glad that landed with you. Why did you said being a Christian? Was there anything else? Like, why did you join Joyful and Present?
Well, I think the the values that you talk about um, are really important to me. Just knowing, that I am a child of God and knowing that He loves me, and that's kind of the basis, for everything. And you repeatedly saying that is helpful to me, even though, I mean, I've heard things, previous to this, of course, but that was really important to me to kind of, have that as like I said, as the base of everything.
Okay. When you say that, I know a lot of women feel a little bit discouraged when they have a strong faith and they know that God loves them. Like, why do you think does that feel any different for you now? Like, what feels different about it now than what you knew before?
It does. It feels different. The way that the things that you teach, because I've heard throughout the years that if you have enough faith, then you shouldn't be fearful or worried about things, and that always.
If you can say that again, like, what do you think is different for you now if you've been a Christian and yet you were stuck, in worrying and fight or flight? Why do you think that's different for you now?
Well, over the years, I've just heard things like that. If you have enough faith, and if you believe, that God's in control, then you shouldn't worry and you shouldn't be anxious and stuff. And that didn't ever resonate with me. In fact, it made me feel guilty for feeling that way. And I know the first time I talked to you, you framed it in such a way that it wasn't something that I should feel guilty about. And that, that God does love me no matter, I mean, if I'm anxious or worried or anything, it doesn't mean that. And so I really appreciated that. That was huge.
Oh, good, good. Let's talk about your results. First of all, I'm so glad you did land here and that you took the chance on getting help and invested in yourself. What would you say are some of the biggest results that you've seen from the work that you've done?
I think the morning 15 minutes, the calming and just being able to start out my day like that has been really helpful. I know when I was on vacation, I missed out on those and I could tell a big difference. But speaking of vacation, not being nervous about planning everything, leaving my dog here, which always worries me because I'm one of those control people. I was great, not worried about those things. And you're not in control flying on a plane, obviously, and that's always been scary to me. And I don't know, I just felt fine. I wasn't nervous or scared or anything. So and riding in a car has always made me pretty nervous too, and that has gotten a lot better because we have a lot of traffic around here and stuff to drive in. And yeah, just things that don't seem like a big deal to other people
Yeah.
that were really bothering me. So kind of
Uh,
things where held me back from things that I wanted to do.
okay. That's great. Like, so being able to just kind of relax when you did take a vacation
Yeah.
and not have that internal struggle was the struggle you were having, the worry, the panic, was that all internal, or do you think it's something that, like, the results that you have now, have other people in your life seen that, or is it just something you experience internally?
No, I feel like other people have seen it too, and my husband has told me that as well. Just things that he can tell, situations that might have usually triggered those feelings in me, and he's pretty surprised, like, wow, that's so good that you didn't get upset and you were able to you didn't even think about our dog's name is Dixie. And we just weren't I wasn't worried about her. She was fine. I wasn't worried about flying. I never mentioned a thing to him, and he was pretty shocked about that. So,
That's so good. What really motivated you to take the action?
um, I feel like it's almost like just a lot of things were kind of building up with my job, and just then other things would bother me more easily. But there was a lot going on with my job, and so that was making me even more anxious. And then other little things would build up, and it was just really I don't even know the word, crippling. And so I felt like I had to do something because I hated feeling like that.
Yeah. Has it helped you on your job?
Yes, and in fact, I changed jobs and very excited about my new role. So yeah, that's that's another thing that I haven't been nervous about my new job. I'm just really excited about starting.
So you talked about vacation and just feeling more relaxed at home and not worrying about things. And then tell me about how that's impacted you on your job.
Yeah, so this over the last few months, I've gotten a new position, and very excited about that. There were just some issues at my prior job that I really wanted to move past. And so that's been great. And I haven't been nervous about the move. I've really just had excitement and can't wait for the school year to start. And um, so, yeah, that's been a great thing too.
I love it that you're moving forward with that confidence. Yeah,
Thank
because
you.
fear makes us just want to stay put, even if we're
That's true.
right. So
Yes.
expansion. Yeah.
Yes.
Can you tell me what in Joyful and Present, like there's, curriculum, coaching, community, what do you think has been um, like the resources in the program that helped you to achieve your goals?
Um, I feel like the curriculum part that, the videos, I've rewatched those many times and taken notes and practiced things. And the coaching part I really like, and I've missed the lives several times, but I always try to go back and watch some of them because there's so much information there that even if, I haven't spoken, when someone else talks, it's usually some feeling that I've felt or an emotion that I've had that I needed to work through. And it's been very helpful. And to see the other ladies having those same issues, it just makes you feel a lot less lonely. So,
Yeah, and it's an incredible community of women.
yes.
Had you tried on your own to fix this in the past?
Oh, yeah, for years. And I can't even think of, I've done some therapy. And I've just, read books and tried things maybe that I saw online, things like that. And they were pretty good, but never really got rid of, that feeling that I had, that
Mm,
anxiousness and just being, worried all the time.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, kudos to you for showing up because I mean, I do feel like the curriculum's very a lot of information, a lot there, and you really showed up and devoted that time to
Yes.
yourself. And
Yes.
so,
And I really enjoy it. It's really fascinating. So learning that stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, having people that love to learn. What would you say to someone who was skeptical, like maybe they were, wanted the results that you have, but are either fearful that they won't be able to do it, or there won't be enough support, or that it just can't work for them because they've tried other things,
Hmm.
that it's hard to invest in themselves? Like, what would you say to someone who is skeptical or not sure?
Um, I would just say, if it's something that you really want to do, it's it's going to work. And I don't know if for everyone else if they feel like this, but it's almost like you might as well try it because if you've tried everything else and it hasn't worked, then this is the thing that um I don't know. This is going to be the one that's going to push you over that stumbling block, and yeah, I feel like if you're to that point, it's going to work. So,
Okay. I do tell people that if you follow the steps, it's inevitable, right?
right.
Success is.
Right.
And would you say the steps are pretty easy to follow if you
Yes, I do. I think so. And I mean, I've been super busy and, here and there, like I've said, starting my new job and everything. And still, it's very doable. So,
yeah, okay. Well, I'm very proud of you and thanks for being here and sharing, and it makes me super
thank
happy
you.
for you and the people that you serve in your job and for your family. So
Thank you.
you deserve to feel better, and I'm so glad that you did. So
Thank you.
thanks for being here, Brooke. Great to
You're welcome.
have you share. Yeah. Thanks again.